Is it okay if I'm blunt with my questions?
Of course.
When you first meet someone, do you want them to shake your hand?
I always want to shake hands with people. I think that first interaction is really, really important. I think it's really important to get that first interaction out of the way and make people feel confident, but also help them to respect the idea that you are an individual with opinions and desires and a mission just as important as theirs.
Hey everyone, welcome to SBSK, the YouTube channel where you'll meet friends who live with many different conditions. While watching these videos, you'll notice one thing. Although humans are incredibly diverse, we all have so much in common. So without further hesitation, let's meet today's friend.
First interactions break ice. They tend to sort of establish a relationship. It's almost subliminal. People don't actually think about what's going on, and it's really important to get that right at the beginning. So yes, I really want to shake hands with people just to establish who I am and what I am. And you know, one of the worst things is somebody with a really bad handshake. And by bad handshake, it feels like somebody's planted a wet fish in the middle of your hand. I was swimming and I just got out of the pool and I was taking something from a bag, probably a water bottle or something like that. And a little boy came up to me, about 8 years old, and he said, "Excuse me, would you like any help?" And I said, "You know what, son, I'm fine, thank you, but thank you for asking. That's really important that you ask." Because I wanted him not to be afraid to ask the next person. And I know that there are some people with disabilities who will snap at people and say, "No, I don't want your help." And that means that they're going to be scared to ask somebody the next time. So I wanted to put him at ease around disability, thank him for his concern, tell him I was fine, but put him in a position where he would do the same thing for the next person. Most people, when I go to shake their hand, you can see them thinking, "Oh, should I? I'm not quite." And I kind of really thrust my hand forward, and what I'm saying with that body language is, "It's fine. Don't worry."
And I'll be honest, when we first met, I wasn't sure what to do, so I waited for you to take the charge.
And that's fine. That's fine. I think, as I say, a lot of disabled people spend a lot of time, shall we say, educating or putting people at ease around their impairment. And, you know, if you're a disabled person that doesn't like that, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to. The world isn't going to change for you.
Do you worry about the opinions of others?
Look, when I was a child, I wore a prosthetic eye in my right eye, and it was forced into my right eye socket, and it caused a constant headache around here because it was kind of forcing the eye socket open. And then one day it sort of hit me like a blinding light. Actually, this eye is for other people. It's not for me. I can't see through it. And I literally, as soon as I had that thought, I took it out and put it in the bin and never thought anything more of it. And I just figured to myself that actually, you know, if other people have a problem with it, then that's their problem. It's not my problem.
When someone sees you for the first time, what do you hope they think?
I hope they think this is a guy that, you know, I can either do business with or be friends with or have a drink with or have some kind of meaningful interaction with. Somebody who's got something to say, somebody who I can learn from, and, you know, equally from my side, I'm hoping for the same things. I mean, I'm a great believer in treating people as you expect to be treated yourself.
How would you explain your condition to somebody who's completely ignorant of it?
Well, my condition is caused by a drug called Thalidomide, which was given to pregnant women in the late 50s and early 1960s, and it caused a variety of birth defects, more typically limb difference. So you can probably see that I've got quite short arms and not the full set of fingers, but it also caused, in me, it caused the absence of a right eye, and it caused the left eye to be almost non-functional. So I think in America you would say I'm legally blind. In the UK you say I'm registered blind.
If somebody watching this video recognizes you out at the pub, should they feel any hesitation about saying hi?
Absolutely not. I'm happy to meet anybody and say hi to anybody. You know, as I say, I've got some limits. I don't like rude people. I don't like aggressive people. I don't like people who instantly hate people because of their religion or creed or nationality or any of those things. But, you know, outside of those boundaries, I'm happy to say hi to everybody.
Do you ever feel any type of anger or animosity that this drug was administered to women back in the day?
It's easy to be angry, but I don't think it's a healthy way to live your life. Of course, it's possible to be angry about the way companies market things. But the thing is, if I get angry about that, it sort of just makes me a nasty person, and it doesn't actually help, because as much as I get angry about it, I can't change the past. None of us can. So, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I don't take the religious route. I don't think God's given me a challenge that I have to rise to. But I think I've been born with a set of challenges, and it's up to me to live with them and to demonstrate to other people that they're not as limiting as they first appear.
Do people rush to open the door for you every day?
Some people do. Some people rush to open the door for me. That's fine, by the way. Again, it's making an assumption, but then quite often I rush to open the door for people. So as far as I'm concerned, they're returning the favour that I do for people all the time. If I see somebody approaching a door and I'm nearer to the door, I will put my back to the door, push the door back, and stand aside while they come through.
What's the most important thing for the world to understand about you?
That I don't take no for an answer, and I never give up. I think it's somehow wired into my DNA that, you know, if I'm presented with a challenge, giving up isn't an option.
Have you ever done something and thought, holy crap, I can actually do that? Something that even surprised you?
Skiing. I didn't think I could ever ski. I was worried about skiing, partly from a balance perspective, and partly from a vision perspective, because, you know, if you can't see that well, if you can't see well enough to drive a car at 30 miles an hour, why do you think you're going to be safe skiing at 30 miles an hour? So I kind of told myself, look, you need to try this, and maybe you can't, but don't assume that you can't, because that's what other people do about you the whole time. So yeah, when I skied, I loved it. When somebody meets me for the first time, I think I'm very keen to let them know that what they see in front of them isn't the full package, that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. What they see, first of all, is somebody with visible disabilities, and I think it's incumbent upon me to sort of let them know that they're dealing with somebody serious, somebody intelligent, somebody with a professional career, and that they almost need to disregard the baggage and concentrate on who I am, not what they see in front of them.
Do you find if you don't take charge with that interaction, they'll often think less of you?
I think there's a tendency always to look at somebody with very visible disabilities like I have, and to think that they are more limited than they are. So yes, I think there is always an impetus to be strong, to take charge, to take command of a situation, and to sort of to be in the driving seat.
So even now, I think that I'm having a few misconceptions because I'm not sure of the proper way to shake hands and what firmness is too much or not enough. Could we demonstrate for everybody and you can walk us through it?
Sure, let's do it. Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How's that?
Very good.
That's good?
That's the right amount of firm.
That's the right amount of firm, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my typical amount of firm. This is how I would shake hands with anyone.
Perfect.
Perfect.
In that case, you've passed the test.
Awesome. How do you know if somebody failed the test?
It feels so delicate. It's almost like you've shaken hands with the Duchess or something, you know, and they've just offered their hand in a sort of, oh, you know, nice to meet you.
Would you rather have someone be too soft or too rough?
Too rough. I'd rather just say, come on, give me my hand back now.
What's something about you that would surprise people?
I'm a complete softie, really. You know, when it comes to kids or when it comes to animals or whatever, you know, I'm a pushover.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to meet people who live with the condition from all over the world and learn how to better connect with the people around you, take a moment and subscribe. Appreciate it.
It was a long time ago now, the late 1960s, early 1970s, when I was being educated. Disabled kids were segregated from non-disabled kids in school. And that meant I had to go away to boarding schools from the age of 5. Now, that wasn't fun. And I was away at boarding school from the age of 5 until I was 17. So I think part of my resilience, my independence perhaps, that sort of fierce independent spirit that I've got comes from having to survive without my close family around me all of the time.